Hello and welcome to Batsbar University, Ras Al Khaimah Academic Centre. We are here to discuss emerging technologies. I'm joined today with my co-host Usman and some panellists. Welcome, please come and sit. Please come. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Billy. So let me introduce our panel first for the discussion. On my left side we have Hania, on my right side we have Varda, and on my far right we have Yumna. So the topic of the discussion is the political impact of social media is more positive than negative. So forum is all yours.
So over the past few decades, political landscape has undergone significant changes, mainly due to internet, social media particularly. So social media has played a crucial role in spread of political awareness and shaping public opinion. So constituents and the politicians, they share their views on platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and the politicians, they get real-time feedback from their constituents through comments. So it increases the democratic engagement.
And also adding on to Yumna's point, it's noteworthy that due to social media, there is more political awareness for the people of the world. Because, and thanks to this, they are now able to know more about the corruption that is happening around them, and it allows them to have an idea of their individual rights, their liabilities as an individual and as a nation as well.
Disagreeing to my point, the social media platforms, many social media platforms, they give out content which is not accurate. It's most of the time it has it disseminates misinformation and many different kind of fake information, fake rumors. So they post content, all of the content without without verifying that the source, the content they're getting from is from an actual source or not.
Do you think your generation are more sensitive to fake news? You detect fake news better than the parents?
Yes, they are.
I also adding on that since the newer generation, they're able to identify which a website is giving fake news, because usually, if you notice, the ones that are giving out the fake news, like Varda said, they're always the small websites that do not have a lot of noise on their website. So they're always trying to give out very intriguing captions like, oh, this happened, this person is very corrupt.
And eye-catching thumbnails.
Exactly.
One of the platforms like YouTube, the videos on YouTube, they're gonna give out a very interesting caption, like something is happening like the political affair of this country and everything. People, when they click on it, they find out that the content inside is unethical or maybe unprofessional. Everything is there. So
the clickbaits, they are quite extreme and exaggerated, even though they don't have factual basis behind the videos.
Clickbait, I like that term. Clickbait is good. Yes.
They're very
Also
exaggerated.
adding on, now people realize that there are news outlets such as BBC or like in this region, the Gulf News, that are actually giving out genuine news. So they usually tend to go there. So the people that are also falling victim to the fake news, there are a very small population, because the majority of them are actually able to identify and they go to these reliable sources.
And also, since politicians post their stuff themselves and they don't use journalist services anymore, so it's the content they post, it's more likely that it can have mistakes and it can be misleading.
Raw, unedited.
Yeah, it's not.
it's
Like
like the
it's against
editorial
the professional ethics.
Yes.
I actually disagree with that, because if you think about it, politicians are in the eyes of everyone. I think if they're not the most, but they're some of the few people that are always under the keenful eye of the public. So it's very ignorant, if I do say so, that you would think that they do not have specialists behind their public social media accounts that are managing
That
all
are
of their
brands, that are
posts.
brand, I think
Yes.
that's the real,
But if you compare them with the traditional methods of when headlines were posted on newspapers or other media outlets, they were more professionally done compared to now, because sometimes social media politicians, they post themselves on Twitters and they do mistake stuff on Twitter,
Yes.
and they have to correct it later. But by the time they correct it, many of the
They have
information
made
has already been
Twitter,
spread.
Twitter, basically Twitter. They have made Twitter a political debate platform as well.
Yeah.
People, when they not people, the politicians, when they post content on it, people they literally start debating in the comment section, like we're against this thing or we're with this thing. The people who are in that, like who follow that specific ideology, they're gonna be in favor with that thing. And the ones who are not,
And they are using specific hashtags for that.
yeah, they make hashtags like
Yeah.
support this person or
Yeah.
we're with this person. So
Especially
This is where-
during
so-
election days. So we are talking about politics. So during election days, they do these hashtags to trend someone on the Twitter,
Yes.
and then they use that, or you can say that they exploit that. That is I think that is it can be a positive thing and negative thing as well. So if you are spreading the misinformation, then I think that is more of a negative thing. So, but if you are doing it for the good of the humanity, then I think that is a positive thing. So we have to see that how we can control this misinformation on social media and how we perceive that information first of all. So we have to give awareness to the audience that how you can detect the fake news as well. So that is very important.
And this is, sorry.
No, I was just thinking about echo chamber, this
Yeah.
concept of an echo chamber, where you get people, similar people
Yeah.
all congregating in the one platform and,
This is where social media algorithm comes in, because it leads to confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is basically where social media algorithm is designed in a way that people view only content based on their beliefs. So it literally confirms their
Yes.
belief.
Yes.
their
So it can lead to-
ideologies or
yes.
everything.
So they're not getting conflicting views, which is a nice balance,
Yes.
They don't, even if they see something that's conflicting their views, they're not gonna open it. They're not gonna view that thing because that's gonna be against their ideology.
Also, I would like to, since more advertisements or like more opinions, like as you mentioned before, the public debates are on Twitter. I also believe that since there are more public debates online, it allows people to have, since they're getting more perspectives, it brings on more, tolerance, it brings on more perspective. They learn that no, only my perspective isn't the only right, because the other person might be speaking real hard facts. So as a whole society as well, I think it allows people to have more emotional quotient.
Yes.
So yes.
I just wonder sometimes whether we build people up and then we love to destroy them again. It's almost, you know what I mean? It's like we build people up. It must be very, very difficult to be a politician or to be a celebrity, because you're under the spotlight all the time, as you said. But we love destroying them as well. It's really, it's incredible.
Like there are people who support, but then there are people who do not support the politicians as well. So like Sir Usman said, they create hashtags. Okay, back to the topic. So the ones creating the hashtag in favor of it, there are ones who are gonna go against that hashtag. They're gonna spread rumors. They're gonna create fake news. They're gonna spread those online on every platform they can find, like Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram even.
And I think because of what Verda said, when there are polls or surveys online, it will affect, like maybe if there is a genuine candidate for politics, and they want to bring positive change, but like they cannot because the people are spreading such false rumors that it's causing a huge issue for them.
The belief is not there,
Yeah.
basically. They don't believe that. They just have this view that there is this one political man, he did wrong, so the person next to him, like the person who's going to stand next to him, he's also going to do the wrong.
Like
And
it-
also, most of the time,
Yeah.
the polls, the results are not very accurate because people maybe under peer pressure or maybe just to please the pollsters, they give a certain point. But under the voting booths, they actually go by their real beliefs. So the votings through polls and surveys may not be actually correct, but it can actually kind of affects a candidate's position where they're standing because people can think, people who are supporting them can think maybe their position is lower. So what's the point of voting them? So it can affect them, the polls, the online polls.
Another reason that I found while I was watching TV was usually in America, I've seen that they have open debates on TV shows, and then they show polls that yes, this person has this many votes, this much percentage of people have voted. So, and most of the time they are fake because they're manipulated.
And
to-
almost in real time, you know,
Exactly. So because of that, because people are watching so much, usually I've seen in my own household, all my uncles, they're like, oh my god, this politician is so bad. Oh my god, this is why they don't have votes. And who knows, maybe they're genuine, but then they don't get the votes because you think that on social media what they're saying is true, but then it's not because it's manipulated. So this decreases a huge chance.
But
for
at the
them.
same time, social media has also promoted better relationship between politicians and their candidates. Before social media, the general public, they were not able to communicate with the politicians. There was a status barrier.
Yes.
But now because politicians directly communicate with them through social media, they're easily able to communicate with them and think of them as just like them, like normal.
So we talk a lot about the people like politicians.
Yes.
So there is one aspect of these social media applications when these the people who are managing these social media applications, when they start taking the political sides,
Yes.
then I think that is worst case scenario.
Yeah.
For example, there was one incident when Trump was elected and they accused that Trump used social media to influence people.
The companies,
Yeah,
social media companies. Yeah.
social media companies. So that was,
But in a way, of course he would.
yeah.
You know, it's like that's not, it's almost like that's not news, you know. Politician influences people using whatever media they possibly can. It's like read all about it, you know, it's like obvious. Yeah, it's not
So
really-
they should have a fair policies for these issues.
It's very interesting actually. It's like sincerity. If you can fake that, you've got it made. You know, it's really funny. It's funny. Well, thank you very much. I mean, I hate to do this because you're flowing and it's really, really interesting. It's fantastic and you've done a lot of background reading, obviously. So I'm going to draw this to a close. Excellent session. Thank you very much for sharing your views. Fantastic. Thank you, Usman, for facilitating the session with me. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something. I know I did. So thank you very much. And join us in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.